Hey everybody, Icy Cat here with another map walkthrough. This time we're going to be taking a look at the Oregon map. So if you want to learn all the tips and tricks to get through this maze of corridors, you're going to want to stick around for more. Let's begin by taking a look at some of our attacker spawn positions. The first one will begin in the junkyard exterior. This is over by the windmill. And if we come over on this side of the structure, we're going to have access to some things on the outside here. There's a lot of debris to hide behind. You can get up into the school bus here and get some good sight lines on some of the windows if they're up in the dorms. But your immediate area for access is going to be through to the office here. That's this building. And if you come through the window or through the door, this is going to put you right into the office, which is down the hall from the kitchen and the bathroom areas. The second spawn position is the exterior street entrance. This is going to put you right over by the front entrance, and you can go through the main doors, which will put you into the lobby. The lobby is sort of a central area to go either upstairs or downstairs back to the meeting hall or back to the left through the main structure of the office and kitchen. Otherwise, you can also come through the garage. You can either come through the garage door or the side entrance. The third attacker spawn is going to be the construction site. So over here we have the large backhoe with the area that's under construction. We can either go up to the watchtower area straight ahead of us, or we can come into this back southwest corner of the bunker. And when we come through here, this is going to put us right into the basement corridor section. And so this is how you get it down into the basement from that spawn position. Let's head back out for a second, though, and check out the other approach that we could take. You can also, so if this is where you started right over here, come up this ramp area. This will put you right against the wall of the watchtower. And you could get up into this window here. There is another window on that other side there. You can also come up to some of these windows. And you can also gain access to the rear stage area by coming through this side entrance here. Now let's take a tour of the camera positions located throughout the map. Let's begin with the one in the exterior construction site. So if you look at the backhoe here, just to the north of this position, right above this red shipping crate, is our first camera. The next exterior camera position is going to be located over by these green trailers, right over by the windmill. And if we look actually at the satellite dish here on the roof from this side, it's right underneath this. So right over by this closer green trailer that's closer to the building, straight up above is our second camera position. This is going to show all the sight lines on this particular corner of the building. For our third exterior camera position, if you start facing the front of the building in the parking area and come over to the northeast, it's right next to this sort of tin-roofed parking structure just off of the garage. And on the pole here is where we're going to find that one, and that's going to keep watch over the front and the garage section. And it'll also give a little bit of advantage on the side as well. Next up, let's take a look at our interior cameras. On the second floor, we only have a single camera position to worry about up here, and this one is going to be located right next to the armory. It's going to watch over the stairs that come up from the first floor lobby, and we'll also look down the hallway toward the dormitory area. Our next interior camera position is going to be located in the first floor rear stage right next to the exit door. Up in the corner, you'll find this one. It's going to watch the exit door as well as allow you to pan over and check the stairs and the general area coming off of the rear of the stage itself. Our next interior camera position is going to be tucked up in the corner here. You can't see it until you come down far enough, but it's right there in the corner. This is going to be located just off the dining hall and kitchen area, as well as the shower and bathroom section. When you view this camera, it's going to give overwatch on the first floor dining hall, as well as the ability to check on the stairs in the corner and the connecting bathroom hallway. The final interior camera is going to be located actually right behind this hanging light, and this will allow the defenders to keep a good watch on anything happening in the lobby. You can see the classroom on the side, the main entrance door, the stairs that go up, as well as the stairs that go down to the basement, and a little bit down below as far as the either side. In addition to being aware of the camera positions, it's also good to know where your trapdoors are located. So let's take a look at those, starting with the second floor. If we come over into the kids' dorm area, we have our first one located between these two bunks in the northeast corner of the room. Opening this one is going to allow us to get straight down into the first floor pantry area and right into the back of the kitchen. The only other second floor hatch is going to be located in the attic area. So this is right above the meeting hall, which is underneath us. And if we come over here and breach this open, we're going to get a good line down into the core of the meeting room and really open up this middle section for the defenders to worry about. This is a real super risky one to drop through, so I'd use a lot of caution on that. This one is almost better to use as a position to shoot down from rather than to drop into. But if you're feeling adventurous, you can do that. Now let's take a look at our trapdoors on the first floor. So in the lobby here, this is going to be right underneath where we were with the camera position. And this one is going to open up into the basement section. This is the laundry room right underneath us. So if you come down here, you're going to get a pretty good shot straight over to the supply room. There's not a lot of trapdoors total in this map, but the other two are both going to be located in the same room in the meeting hall here. So they're right next to each other. There's one here, the other one's over here. They open into ever so slightly different positions. When you open up this one, you've got this wall that you're going to be looking at right here. You can't get a real great sight line unless somebody's right in that door there. But if you drop down, this is going to put you right outside the supply room from the other side. And you can come in here pretty quickly, or you can breach through one of these walls. Now going back into the meeting hall, if we check out the other door, so again, this is just off to the side of this other one. And when we open up this one, we're just going to get a slightly different position, dropping down into the electrical room. And this is going to come to the left of the supply room, just off to the side. Now let's take a look at our general map walkthrough for Oregon. And I find that the best way to start these is to sort of find a general point of reference. For this, we're going to use the main entrance. And the reason for that is when we walk through here into the first floor lobby, we're greeted with a bunch of choices. We've got the classroom on the left, meeting hall straight back. We can go around to the left for the kitchen and dining area. Garage to the right. We can go down into the basement. We've got a trap door. We can go up the stairs to the right. I mean, we have a lot of choices in front of us. And if we think of this as a hub, this is a good place to start from. Everything sort of radiates off this central position. So let's go up the stairs here and check this out. When we come up here into the hallway, we've got the armory room over here. And one useful thing is if you come down into the corner here, you can get a good line of sight straight down this hallway, of course, when the debris cooperates with us. And this is going to allow us to shoot straight back into the dorms. Good place to get that line of sight. There may be a barricade there, but you can take that out. You can see into the master bedroom through this wall. This whole wall is breachable. So if we come through here, this is the master bedroom section. We can also open up this, and this is the balcony. If we wanted to come out here, maybe, rappel up the side of that and then come into here for our breach, you could do that. Off to the side, we have the walk-in closet. This whole wall is openable, and if you come through here, this is going to put you into the small dorms. So for point of reference, this is where we were before. By the way, you'll notice these hand-painted signs kind of all over the place to sort of help you with your bearings. So, dormitory this way. So this is the master bedroom we were just in a minute ago. We've kind of done a square here and come around by going through that wall. This back wall here can be opened as well and will show us into the main dorm section. And we have a choice here. We can either go into the kids' dorm section where we have our trapdoor and these exterior windows, or we can breach through this wall here, which again puts us into the main dorm section. I'll just come through here and show you what that's like. So this whole wall is on the other side here, can be breached. And this wall can be breached as well, which puts us into that small dorm where we were before. This particular window is often contested. This is a pretty good vantage point because all of these roofs here, as an attacker, you can use this network of roofs as kind of like a little highway to sort of get between some of these isolated upper deck sections. You can move through these pretty quickly and effectively and navigate from one end of the building to the other, almost like a raised highway up here. But let's get back inside so we don't get too confusing as to where we are. So back inside, we can go down the stairs here, and this takes us to the dining hall area. Let's come on down here. Now for point of reference, this spits us out further down. If you recognize this greenish bluish wallpaper, that's because when we were in the first floor lobby, you sort of see this going on too. So think of this wallpaper as connecting the two sections. And so coming down where the stairs were before, we've got this choice of going either straight ahead or to the right. If we come to the right here, we do have a little bathroom section. And these walls are breachable and open into the kitchen, where I'll take you in just a moment. Coming around through here, this is our dining hall corridor. Let's just go straight back right away. So if you start over in the junkyard spawn position, this is where you'll be. You'll come in through here. This is where the green trailers and the windmills are, is right through here. And coming in through either this window or this door is going to put you into this first floor office section. Not much happens up here on this little raised section, but you could, as a defender, set a trap for anybody coming in up here if you wanted to. You can shoot through this floor and create some traps that way. And this is that window we were talking about before, so directly across from us on that second floor balcony over there, we could set up over here and kind of shoot across into that section if there was an objective in there. So coming down this hallway, we're going to be faced with some areas that we can go into. We've got the shower rooms over here. Not much happens, but you can breach through. Let's get a little closer. Breach through these walls and get a line of sight there. If you come through here, you've got the dining room. You'll notice we have a variety of breachable walls. So this will open up into the office where we just were. This is the hall on the other side of this one. This opens up into the kitchen. Let's check out the kitchen. In here, we have a few breachable walls. These open up into the bathroom where we just were a moment ago. So this comes through here. This other one comes through on the other side of that same bathroom. None of these brick walls are breachable, but back here in the pantry, this wall can be breached and goes into the meeting room on the opposite side. And we have the trapdoor from the kids' dorm above us that we can drop into, which protects us a little bit before we push into the kitchen. All of the ceilings in here are breachable. That's, again, the kids' dorm straight above us, so you could put cluster charges or something on there. But when you come into this room, even though the ceiling texture looks the same from one room to the next, you actually can't breach through this ceiling from above because that's actually the roof above us there. So let's just come through the kitchen again and get back into the lobby area. So off of the lobby, we have this little classroom. Not much tends to happen in here, but you could set up a trap as defenders come or attackers come through if you wanted to do that. You can also go into the garage section in here. This is one way that you could come in. You could enter from the outside through this garage door or through the regular door here on either end or a window and push through. Here we've got the meeting room. So when you come through here, you're immediately faced with the choice of going either left or right. And they will take you into the meeting room, which is a very wide open section. There's just quite a kill zone in here. In the back of this, we have a ladder that goes up. And this goes up into an attic space. And at first glance, this seems like a dead end. There's nothing up here. There's no doors. This window isn't very usable. You can't climb through it. But if you breach these, you will find something interesting in that you can get through into the dormitory area where we were before. Now, if I come over to the other end, and we do have a trap door up here. Any of these floor sections can be breached if you want to shoot through them or put a breaching charge or anything like that. Putting a charge on this back wall will open up into the watchtower. This is the 3-story kind of red tower section from the inside here. This is the second level. And we've got our windows here that will look on the outside. You can come in here as a defender and get some good lines of sight on them as they approach the structure. You can definitely snipe some people as they come. If you have anybody with an ACOG scope, you do also have options for other windows for lines of sight. We can take these stairs down, and then what this does is this puts us in the back of the meeting hall. So this is a room we were just in before. This is the meeting hall. You can see the area we were up above here. And we can come through. This entire rear wall is breachable. And we have an entrance point that we can come through here. Then we can go straight down into the basement. The basement section is going to open up. We have this wall here that's open, so you need to be careful of that as you come through either way as an attacker or a defender. This back entrance will take us out to the bunker. So this is sort of the exterior here from the construction site. You can push through here and have a breachable wall there. All of these walls can be breached. If you come through the electrical room here, this is the supply area. None of these ceilings can be breached, so you can't come through there, but these side walls can be. And if you come through those side walls, you'll find yourself in the laundry room. And here we have our final objective. And we have our trapdoor here. And these stairs will take us back up into the lobby area again. Now let's take a look at a couple of places you can use cluster charges or breaching charges on. If we come through into the kids' dorm area, right here where we have sort of like this pile of blankets on the floor, we can go ahead and set up a cluster charge just right about here. This is going to come down right here into the kitchen area, and we'll fill this area with explosives. So let's trigger that and see what that looks like. That's going to fill this whole area up. This half of the kitchen will get pretty filled. And likewise, you can find the same kind of angles on just about any of the ceiling tiles in here. This whole area above us is where the kids' dorm is. Our other area for using cluster charges will be kind of over in this section. I mean, you can do it anywhere up in the attic, but right here in the back in the north part of the attic is going to be directly above the stage. And sometimes they'll be back there because you can kind of get behind some of these points of cover and allows you to fire down in an elevated position. And if you hit this charge up here, it's going to fill this whole back section pretty effectively with some high explosives. But again, you can do that anywhere along the length of this and drop down the grenades into the room from any of the lines along here. So here's a position that's sort of interesting that you can do as a defender. I'm using this with a breaching charge, but you could do this with a nitro cell. If you blow this top section here, and then say you've got Overwatch, outside, and you can see where they're coming from. If they come through this bottom section at all, so, you can sort of switch between duty of sniping and then come over here. And if they come through and push in this area and try to come up on you from below, you're going to be able to get a pretty good drop on them before they can do much about it. One technique you can do that's kind of interesting is, so if you have people that are in the back of the meeting room here, they can sort of be difficult to dig out because as you come around these edges, they can, get the drop on you. They're expecting you to come. And something you can do to sort of soften that up is do a double breaching attempt here. And if I put a hole in this wall and then put another hole in this wall, now I can use the elevation of the stairs to sort of walk myself up and sort of, adjust what my line of sight is here. And I can see straight back into the corridor here through this. They'll probably be kind of tucked in behind that table, but this will sort of take that advantage away from them as far as coming around the corner and exposing yourself. And again, you can walk this elevation to give yourself some protection. One useful thing you can use is in the basement when you have this half open wall here. You can get a good line into the supply room if you place a breaching charge on the wall here, as I've done. And when you open that up, you're going to get a line straight into that supply room. And this is going to put you back here and keep them kind of pinned down on that position pretty effectively. Now let's take a look at some of our drone positions, beginning with the vent access. So over here in the bus yard, this is right next to the burned out school bus. If we come straight up to the building here to the northeast of the bus, we have a vent. And following this path is going to put us straight into the bathroom corridor. Right ahead of us, we've got the bathroom, or we can then take that around to either the kitchen or the lobby areas. Our second vent access is going to be in the same area. So again, going to the school bus, our other vent was over here to the northeast, but if we turn over to the northwest instead, right underneath this scaffolding here, if we come through this vent, this is going to put us into the shower facility. This is a good one because we can get straight access into the dining hall and the kitchen pretty rapidly. Our next exterior vent position is going to be located just to the north of the windmill, next to the cylinder of water or plant fertilizer, whatever this is. But this wall here that has the peeling siding on it, if we come straight through here between these bushes, we've got a vent. And this will put us right into the first floor dining hall. And again, a straight shot into the kitchen from here. Our last exterior drone vent access is going to be located in the shooting range area. So if we've got the shooting range here to the north and also the large watchtower, the 3-story high tower there to the northeast, coming by this L-shaped table, we've got this right here in the opening of kind of these bushes at the base of this wall. Coming through this vent is going to put us right into the meeting hall. So if your objective is in this room, you're going to have really rapid access to that to pick it up. And while we're in here, we're going to take a look at our final vent position. There's no interior vent access paths except for this one, which connects the meeting hall to the kitchen. They'll also come right into the kitchen. So again, this is the meeting hall. This is just off the front section here of the meeting hall. And coming through into this corner will put you into the kitchen. For drone placement, Oregon is kind of an interesting map in that you'd think there'd be more places to stick a drone as far as shadowy areas go, but they still manage to stand out pretty effectively no matter where you put them. Once those red lights turn on, there's just not a whole lot of places you can go that you won't be spotted. But you're still going to want to try to go around the map, get underneath things, get on top of things, go into shelves. Just anything you can do to try to get your drone into inconspicuous places. You've got to remember, wherever you die is where that drone is going to be providing camera intel to the rest of your team. So many people will drive their cameras around, and then when that time runs out at the beginning of the prep phase, they'll just leave the drone wherever it is, and then when people start dying, they go into the cameras and they can do nothing useful to help the team because it just hasn't been given any thought as to where they're leaving these things. There's no good vantage points left. You can't really help your team out at all. So, try to find these places where you can stick them and really assist the team a lot with clever placement and reward them with the good vantage points that you're going to find with this. When you do manage to get something in a really inconspicuous place, go ahead and use your mic to communicate with the rest of the team what you're seeing. The longer you can hold off giving the actual spotting, the tagging feature, they're not going to necessarily know to look for the camera unless they spot the red lights. But if you're clever about your camera use and, either you or someone on your team has put the camera in some really, really well hidden spots, you should be able to make much more effective use out of your cameras. It's all about looking for, just these great places to, maybe jump and put them in. I try to limit the jumps with drone positions to a 2 jump. Every once in a while, I might try for a 3 jump position, but the more you're jumping around, the more noise you're making and the more visible you are, it's going to draw the defender's eye to what you're doing. But if you can get them into some of the more inconspicuous places, sometimes the extra maneuvering is definitely going to be worth it. Now let's take a look at some defensive positions for the bomb defusal mode. We're going to start up here in the kids' dorm. We've got bomb A in the main dorm, and we've got bomb B in the kids' dorm. One thing you can do here is you can reinforce this entire wall if you want to fend off anybody that comes through the windows, or you could use a nitrocell and blow a hole and connect these 2 rooms. Then standing over by guarding bomb A, you can turn and respond to the window if you want, and also come over and respond to this window if you like. Either one of those can be viable approaches. For reinforcements, you're going to want to do this back wall over here, so reinforce this wall. I wouldn't bother with this one, because if you've reinforced this one, then you shouldn't have much to worry about with this one, unless they penetrate through here and get in, but, they can come in through the window, I guess, but it's up to you. That's an optional one. I would also recommend paneling up this wall here so that they can't come through the attic entrance at all. And one kind of neat trick I find up here is you've got these wardrobes, for lack of a better term. And when you use your trap devices, they give off the blinking lights and they're pretty obvious that they're there. But if you throw behind here, now I've got a smoke grenade back here. I can't see it at all. Very easy to miss. Even when I come through this way, it's still somewhat easy to miss. But if you're in here and you're defending, and, maybe you didn't blow a hole in that wall and that's all reinforced or something, and there's a guy on the other side here, have that pre-placed. And then when they sort of come through that section and they think they've got you pinned down, go ahead and set that off. And look, it fills this whole area. And does a very nice job of just, affecting anybody that's in here. Likewise, you can do that to this wardrobe as well. Just toss it sort of behind that door, keep it hidden, and then if they push through here, so say they come through and now they're in this position here, you're battling it out with them, and you just hit this, and they're going to be really screwed getting out of that cloud. Our next bomb defusal position is going to be located in the dining hall and the kitchen. And I'm going to recommend maybe blowing a hole in the wall on the kitchen here and setting up reinforcement panels. I mean, really lock down this pantry. Get some shock batteries on here so that they can't breach it. Send somebody upstairs and protect that trapdoor, reinforce that as well. Then what you can do is you can have somebody kind of down in the corner here and keeping a good eye on the A bomb, but also allowing you to respond to B bomb pretty effectively. And, you know, these sidewalls here, you'll reinforce these. And if you want, you can reinforce maybe one of these back walls, but you kind of want to let them gain access to maybe the A-bomb a little bit. Now, you'll be in a bit of trouble, though, if they come over here and maybe they set their diffuser in this position. So you'll also want to make sure that you have somebody that can sort of deal with that sort of a response, you know, and just whatever you want to do as far as like maybe having somebody with crossfire, you know, sitting down in this position here while the other person can watch over their right side from the further back position or something like that. Our next bomb defusal spot is going to be the laundry room and the supply room. This is a tough one. You've got the stairs at either end to contend with. Now, fortunately, they can't come through the ceilings except for the trapdoor positions here and the other two over on the other side here. So you are going to have to be wary of these trapdoors. I would send somebody up and reinforce all three of those trapdoors if at all possible. For other reinforcements, I'm going to recommend doing this L-shaped wall here and then getting other reinforcement panels on this wall and this wall. I would not worry about the wall that connects here. Don't even worry about this wall. And this wall, go ahead and blow this open. This is going to allow you to quickly respond to an attempt at A or an attempt at B and keep you with that fluid option to move back and forth between them. Where you're really going to want to keep your attention focused is on the stairs at either end as well as the trapdoors. Stairs and trapdoors. Those are the things you have to worry about here. The other thing, as long as you've reinforced this back wall, you should be okay, but just keep in mind that they can come through this back area as well. Can also use this partial wall to your advantage to keep an eye on the back stairs if you like. And you can do the same thing for keeping an eye on the back door if you wanted to do that. Our last defensive point for bomb defusal will be the rear stage and watchtower. And this can be a tricky one to lock down, but if you use good strategy, you'll do all right. The first thing you can do is send somebody up the top of the ladder here and check out the windows, make sure you can figure out where they're coming from, maybe get some snipes on them as they approach the structure. Go ahead and seal up some of these windows with the castle barricades, make it so that they can't just roll through the windows. And I'm going to recommend putting your reinforcement panels on the wall that connects to the attic so they can't roll through there. This should keep this area locked down pretty tight, having one person up top, and that should be all you need because he can also shoot down and respond in case anybody does come through these windows. I would put the rest of your defenders in positions down here. Have one person perhaps watching the basement entrance who can then also turn and respond here. And I would have another person, I've put some barbed wire here. I've also put some barbed wire at the other door so I can hear them come through. But you can get behind this wall here and watch the door, or if they come through the window on the left, they'll be in your sights right away. Then what I would do is have somebody else in here with you, and their job is to sort of keep an eye on the back so you don't get flanked, maybe having some traps or some watching cameras, whatever it might be there. Then having a third person over here. And what you can do is they can either watch this with you if you think they're coming from that direction, or you can open up a hole and just watch this door and make sure that they, if they come through here, they're going to get stopped. And then that person in the other position will be able to turn and respond quickly and offer assistance to that other position, or the person watching that door can turn and watch that position and help there. For the other defensive modes, you don't have to worry about too much being different. Both Hostage Rescue and Secure Area use the same positions that Bomb Defusal does, but instead of being spread across 2 rooms, you're only going to be worrying about 1 location to lock down. Apply the same principles, just don't worry about the defenses that we're talking about, blowing holes in walls or things like that, since you don't need to. But lock it down to a tighter, smaller area and you'll be able to apply the same techniques. So that's been our walkthrough for the Oregon map. There's a lot of twists and turns in the map, and people do tend to get confused as many of the areas kind of look the same as other areas. Just remember, your first floor lobby is your main hub, and everything sort of radiates out from there. Going to the left will take you to the kitchen dining room. Straight ahead will take you to the meeting hall and watchtower. Going to the right will take you to the garage or down the stairs for the basement and supply area, or you can go upstairs for the dorms. Once you get all of that, comfortably secured, then you're going to do all right with navigating the map. We'll also be keeping you up to date on all the latest news and information for Siege, like patch updates, DLC announcements, and more. So if you haven't already, please like and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.